And today I greet you not from the Everlight Solar Studio sitting next to the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. I greet you from the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, Wisconsin, just outside of Lambeau Field, because it's conveniently located on my way up north. And that is how we are here today. Matt!
Thank you.
How are you doing with Jim Rutledge on assignment today?
My favorite part. What's that?
Did Matt forget how to turn his own microphone on when he doesn't have Jim sitting there right next to him? Okay, this is the part where you turn your microphone on.
No. See, that was not on Matt Hamilton. That was on the producer back here. Still primetime
Wollersheim,
yes.
Primetime Wollersheim off his game with Jim outside. Jim leaves for one day. Matt's gone every other day.
I switched spots on him last second because for some reason my buttons weren't working, so I had to move spots. Yeah.
Hey now.
Okay.
The button didn't have a light, and that's how I knew it wasn't working.
Look, there's
Would
a little
you
bit
guys
of
get it
Chinese fire
together
drill
back
back here.
there? Would you guys get it together back in the
I mean,
Everlight Solar
Jim has
Studio?
always
Jim?
said when he's not here, this show would fall apart, and we're proving him right now.
90 seconds in,
normal.
he is
We're fine. We're all fine.
absolutely
here.
being proven right at this moment in time. 844-770-3776, your way into the show on the ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. That's 844-770-3776. Yes, so I am in the Tundra Trio on my way up to Crivets, where my wife's family has a cabin that we'll be spending our time at over the Memorial Day weekend holiday. Terrible traffic if you're one of the many people heading north this weekend. It took me almost 3 hours to get from downtown Madison to Green Bay here. Usually that's the amount of time it takes to get from Sun Prairie to the cabin, and that's another hour away. So I'm here. Jason Wilde may or may not be making a surprise guest appearance, which I guess if we know it might happen, it's not really a surprise. So he may be stopping by here to join me in my little lounge here at the Tundra Trio. We got to figure out how to set up this best Mr. Rogers setup if that ends up being the case. Matt, I did want to start with this. So it's been a weird day for me because I was in the Everlight Solar Studio earlier today producing Wilde and Tausch. Tausch returned from his vacation to Peru. And then I made the drive up here, and I knew it might be a little tight for time. I was hoping to get here with like 30 minutes to get some other stuff done before hitting the air with you. That did not happen thanks to the traffic on 41. So I ended up grabbing food on the way up here. And I realized even before I left the Everlight Solar Studio that was going to be a problem today, because looking on our video stream on ESPN Madison and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, I'm wearing a white shirt. And, Mr. Fashionable, hand up for me, wearing white before Memorial Day. I want to do it before everybody else thinks it's cool to do it on Tuesday.
Cool.
And
Beat it to the punch.
yeah, right. I wanted to get a head start on it. And I realized, oh, crap. I got to eat in the car on my way from Madison to Green Bay today. And I am a notoriously messy car eater. My wife makes fun of me.
Specifically to a car, or are you just a messy eater? And
No,
you're
I'm
trying
not
to
a
hedge
messy
little
eater
bit?
at all. Like, at home, I'm a very clean eater, I would say. I love sitting.
I don't think so.
Shut up, Wooly. I love sitting at the kitchen table and, like, sitting down, having a meal. Becca likes to take it, like, no matter what the meal is. Like, it could be, like, steak and whatever, where you have a full fork knife, all the whole deal. She likes taking it and sitting on the couch and, like, putting it on her lap and precariously perching it. That's the kind of thing I do not do. But what I do like to do is sit at the kitchen table, and I'm a very clean eater. I don't like making a mess on the table. I don't like getting it all over the counter or wherever we're sitting. I don't like being messy. I don't get it on me. I'm very good at that. For whatever reason, when I'm driving, it's not the same. Whenever I'm driving, and it's not even when I'm sitting in the passenger seat in the car, I'm fine. It's just when I've got hands on the wheel, when I'm driving the vehicle, I can't not eat cleanly. Nope, that doesn't make sense. Let me say that again. I can't eat cleanly when I'm in the car. It's just it could be the simplest thing, but we've made stops when we've driven up here before. We've stopped for subs. We've stopped for chicken tenders. We've stopped for tacos. We've stopped for chicken sandwiches.
Tacos?
Like all
Are you kidding me?
I no matter what it is, something's going to get messy either on me or in the vehicle.
No,
and
I think it's your choices. I think you can plan this better, but you are making the wrong choices for eating in a car.
Well, okay, Mr. World Traveler, then what do you suggest that I do to correct this situation? Because I was terrified. I almost didn't stop to eat today on my drive up here, knowing I was going to be on this very popular show from 4 to 6 on this Friday, filling in for Jim Rutledge on the video stream on YouTube at ESPN Madison, where you should subscribe and watch all of our content. And I didn't want to be messy. I didn't want to be dirty. I don't have, well, I guess I do have a change of clothes, but it's more like up northeast stuff that I brought. I didn't want to wear while we're doing the show here. So I was very worried about this, driving solo from Madison to Green Bay to do this show here with you this afternoon. What do you recommend that I do to correct my ways so I can be better about this?
Well, I mean, one of the examples you put out there was tacos. Like, tacos are always a no in the car. Like, tacos are messy even if you're sitting at a table with a plate and, like, focusing on eating the taco. Right?
Yes.
Like, stuff's going to fall out of it. So you can't, tacos are no good. The burrito would be a much better traveling dish if you were going to go the Tex-Mex Southwest style of food.
Metro Kia of Madison Oil.
Exactly.
Well done.
Yep.
Primetime Woolers. I see we're back on the rails now. All right, we're good to go.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Jose Rutledge probably wouldn't agree with that take, but the tacos are not good driving food. Chicken tenders, you kind of need to hold your dip cup, right? I'm imagining you're getting like a to-go sauce as well. You can't grab something and dip it. You've got no hands on the wheel. Unsafe.
And it's a problem for more things than just the chicken tenders because, yes, I would agree with you. You can have the plain chicken tenders or nuggets or any form of the chicken that you prefer or whatever the fast food places
and
that
they
give you, but you got to dip it in
And I don't
something.
want any of our callers to call in and be like, just put it in the cup holder. It's like, that is the hardest place on your car to clean. My cup holder is a temple. I will not put anything that could potentially spill in the cup holder. Like, pops have to have a top on it. Like, that is one spot that I do not want to clean. And this is from years of experience of spilling, like, a pop or a beverage that could become sticky in your cup holder. That's the worst. You can't have that. So that's why I will not be putting my barbecue sauce in there and trying to eat a chicken tender out of my cup holder.
That is like signing yourself up for failure because then you got to transport the sauce from the cup holder up to where you are while maintaining a hand on the wheel, while keeping your eyes on the road. That is a disaster waiting to happen.
Exactly.
No
so when
about,
you
like,
drop those two examples for food that you stop and get on your way up, I either think you're a terribly unsafe driver or you need one of those like full-on bibs that you get from Red Lobster when you get the big lobster. Like, it even has like maybe a trough to like catch the stuff that you miss. Like, that's what you would need.
Matt, I knew you were out last week. I got some news for you about Red Lobster you may not want to hear.
You fire away. Yeah, let me know.
What? Do you really not know what's been going on with Red Lobster?
No.
They're going under.
Oh, yeah?
They're going under the sea.
They closed like almost all their locations.
Perfect for you. Maybe you can go get like a box of bibs. Keep them in your car so you can eat whatever the heck you want.
The Red Lobster
What?
surplus store.
Yeah, the Red Lobster surplus store is like, excuse me, sir, I need one box of your finest bibs for all of my travel plans this summer.
What
Thank
Matt
you.
missed? Red Lobster going under. Well, he left Madison and Red Lobster was going strong. He comes back and the whole
gone.
new world we didn't even know about.
Well, that's what you
844
get for giving people unlimited shrimp, okay? That
I'm
was
gonna
a problem they saw themselves getting
I'm going to
into.
miss those biscuits, though. That's the best thing I've ever had at any restaurant.
A
ever.
Cheddar Bay biscuit?
Oh, my God.
Teach you
they're
how to
so
make
good.
one. They're not even that hard.
844-770-3776. I've got like three things in my culinary routine, and one is spaghetti.
Wouldn't
So-
you like to add one of those? Wouldn't you like
You know
to
what?
add
I
Cheddar Bay
would.
biscuits to
I
your
would.
repertoire?
Absolutely, I
Your
would.
cooking quiver, if you will?
770-3776. We want to know
Quiver.
the best and worst foods to eat while you are driving. It's Memorial Day weekend. Many people probably with some weekend plans, whether it's just for a single day you're traveling out to go visit some friends or family, or if you're like me, you're heading up north for the weekend, getting the cabin open for the summer. 844-770-3776. I found myself in the dilemma. Even before I left the studio, I knew it was going to be a problem today, and it ended up, sure enough, it was a problem on my drive up. 844-770-3776. The best and worst foods to eat while driving to help me correct my ways. My name's Jay Nelson. I'm in for Jim today, along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. So here's what I did, Matt.
Yeah, tell me.
You've mentioned the food that I did end up going with today. It was a burrito.
That's not so bad.
And-
As long as you don't eat it like an animal, you should be able to maintain a fairly clean shirt.
what do you even like? How do you eat a burrito like an animal? Like
Well, I
corn
mean-
on the cob style, or
No,
like what?
you just got to make sure you're going around it's probably like a Qdoba or whatever,
Yeah,
Chipotle or something
it
like
wasn't
that.
a massive burrito. It was more of like a fast food style burrito as opposed to like a fast casual.
Did you
So it was-
microwave this burrito?
Here's
Like
the
at a
thing.
gas
I did-
station?
You got
I
to
did
keep
not-
the foil on the
no.
bottom like a diaper because it'll spill out the
Okay.
bottom. That's the one rule when eating a burrito. If you just take the whole burrito out of its packaging, that's eating it like an animal.
So what I underestimated was the gooey cheese. Because there was
okay, now we
gooey
know where he
cheese in
went.
this burrito. Right, and so you take one bite of the burrito and you like take a bite from one side because you're trying to be nice and careful with it, and then all the gooey cheese gets pushed to the other side, and then it starts to like molten lava fall out of the thing, and then you're trying to like keep it preserved in one spot, and all the deal you're trying to manipulate the burrito.
Yeah.
While you're trying to make sure you're not going too fast to hit the truck in front of you. It's a tough situation.
So right there is you just described a food that doesn't work for you. I think you should abstain from burritos while on the road.
The way Jesse talks about
I think
this
you
is,
can stay committed to the burrito, but you should just abstain while driving.
the way Jesse talks about this is like this is his version of athletics. Like this is like I need to make sure I'm balancing this while also looking for the receiver downfield and the truck in front of me and the defender coming over the middle.
That's a great comp, Wooly. I do feel like I'm Jordan Love reading a defense when I open up the burrito and I'm driving up 41, coming up on Kakana, being like, oh. man.
Yeah, first
this
of all,
in one hand,
you
I got- we're
shouldn't be
scouting
eating
the-
anywhere near Kakana.
Yeah, just where you want to be eating a burrito.
Yeah.
I got pressure coming from my right. I got something happening right in front of my face. I got to make sure that I'm doing everything. This is my version of athletics. 844-770-3776. Best and worst foods to eat while driving. I think the safest for me is a burger, but not like a burger with anything on it. It's got to be like a plain cheeseburger.
Right.
That's
okay.
what I typically.
Yeah, I was
if I'm-
now that makes sense. We got it.
Because you can't do like anything with lettuce. Like
Right,
you got
you're
like
done.
a chicken sandwich that has lettuce on it, it's just gonna fall everywhere. French fries, a lot of the fries have like crumbs that'll get all over you. Chicken tenders, same thing. Even the chicken sandwich, anything with breading is also really tough. And again, I wish I wasn't this way. I don't know what happened to me at some point in my life. This was never. Maybe I was just an entire slob until I met my wife, and she finally told me one time when we were driving to Chicago, "You're a bad driver and food eater." I didn't realize that until that stage of my life, which was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I had never known. Apparently, I'm really bad at this, so I'm seeking advice.
Here's
from
my advice:
someone
is
like
eat
you, Matt, who is
before
a
or
world
eat
traveler.
after. Now you're just. I think honestly, your best bet is just wait. Either eat before. And I don't care if you like get your food, sit in your car for 5 minutes and wolf down a burger and then hit the road, but I don't think you should be driving while eating. You personally, I think some people can pull it off, but I think that sort of mental gymnastics and the physical ability of staying in your lane might be just a little too much.
That's not going to work for two reasons. Because first of all, my wife is very much similar to Tausch, a forward momentum person. She does not want to stop, and if we are stopping, it's quick in, quick out, quick on, quick off.
Right, just
whatever it
eat
is.
faster. Or here's the thing: is she doesn't even necessarily have to worry about eating fast. If you're driving, you eat quickly, and then you can get on the road.
2-minute offense.
Yeah, I honestly think that's the play for you because
You want me to go no huddle stopping at the
Yep.
fast food restaurant or the gas station when we get off the highway?
I think you get barbecue next time. Get like some baby back ribs,
This,
some beans, and
Yeah.
coleslaw on the
what
side.
would be the most preposterous? Barbecue would probably be up there as the most preposterous thing
No.
to try and eat. Crab legs?
Fondue. Fondue.
Fondue's up there, yeah.
Yeah. Have like a little fondue pot going. You plug into your like cigarette lighter. That little port. That
And we
just-
got the cheese fountain going
yeah,
up
you
here
got
in
like the
front
cheese
seat.
going. You know, I think that would be the worst one.
Another terrible
Our
one.
kids-
Anything sushi related? Trying to use chopsticks while driving?
That's the
Oh,
thing. Is
yeah.
honestly, your sushi can be a finger food.
It can, but even if you
It's,
want to
it's
get
supposed to be.
if you want to get soy sauce in there too, that's good at drip. There's
You
no
just-
way it doesn't
yeah,
drip.
I do think sushi is a little more feasible than some of the things that we mentioned. Like I would
Well-
do sushi before tacos.
I'm glad you brought up sushi and eating with chopsticks because I will say this. So I'm in Jim Rutledge's favorite city, Green Bay, Wisconsin, where it's a chain restaurant USA when you're coming down Oneida Street. There is a very popular nationwide Chinese fast food restaurant that I have not been to probably since I was in college. And I passed it today, and I thought, I'm by myself. I'm going to be driving up north. Probably going to take another 2 hours because the traffic's so bad. I might have to eat dinner before I get back on the road. I would love to get that for dinner. Get some orange chicken and either the rice or the lo mein. And that sounds delightful. But I can't eat that while I'm driving. That's even worse than trying to do what I was doing with the burrito on the way up here.
Yeah, that would be an awful, awful bet on your
anything. Like
honestly, that would be a bad bet for anyone who's even good at eating and driving. That for someone who is clearly a novice is not the play, Jesse.
It's not even a. It's not even a chopstick situation with the it's any utensil like soup. Any soup probably isn't going to go.
So
salad.
My wife ran into some of those issues, and I'm sorry, Jen, if you're listening, I'm going to throw you under the bus. One of her favorite things when she was driving, she used to drive to Janesville for work, right, from Madison. So she obviously, that little extra time would be nice to stay home and eat, which she can do now because she works a little bit closer in Stoughton Health. But when she was driving all the way to Janesville, she would get we've got like those abnormally large coffee mugs. You know, it's kind of like a craze right now is like mugs that are just way too big for like a proper cup of coffee. Yeah. She'll put cereal in it and like drink the cereal like a cup of coffee because she realizes she can't use a spoon. So she'll put, like just a little bit of milk in it and then some cereal and just people driving by would think she's drinking a cup of coffee. Instead, she's having cereal.
That can't be good for more than like 2 minutes before it would get super soggy.
That's why the cereal goes on second. Milk goes in first. Yeah, no, it still gets soggy. Yeah, there's no way around it, but it's pretty hilarious. Like every once in a while, I'll take her car, and in the back seat there'll be like 3 mugs.
This is like the invention of the air raid offense. Your wife's like Don Coryell, literally.
Yeah, she's thinking outside the box,
changing the sport,
revolutionizing the game. Cereal to go.
Do you hate when you're driving and you're hindered by what you can eat? Check it out: cereal, soup, chili. Have it all on the road. Just put it in a coffee mug.
Let's go.
Idea by Jen Hamilton.
Are you a messy slob filling in for Jim Rutledge on the afternoon show on Memorial Day weekend? Have we got something for you? Cereal to go from Matt Hamilton.
So I'm
844-770-3776. What you got, Matt?
So when I'm on the road, I typically am the person who will sit there and eat in the parking lot quick because I'm a quick eater. I'm not worried about it. I like snacking on the road, and the best snack for the road is sunflower seeds, hands down.
Oh.
It preoccupies you. While driving can be a little mundane, at least you got some seeds that you can crack. You got your little empty soda can that you can spit the seeds into. It's like hours of fun that you for like $2 to get some sunflower seeds. That is the premier like road trip snack.
I'm out on sunflower seeds.
You're also out on bubble gum, so I don't know if I can really trust you.
I can't stand gum, but sunflower seeds is starting to creep its way up on my list.
I understand. If people are spitting those on the green and in weird, you got to be respectful where you're spitting your seed. I can understand that you can have some uncourteous sunflower seed eaters.
I was in a dilemma Wednesday. I was filling in a golf league with my buddy Tier 1 Tyler, who's a contributor to this show on a regular basis. He enjoys listening to some Rutledge and Hamilton on his way home from work, and so we were sharing a cart, and he had sunflower seeds for the entire round, and it was already going super poorly. We golfed like crap, and he's sitting there just chomping away, spitting out the sunflower seeds. He's trying to say words with S's in them with a handful of sunflower seeds on his tongue. You can't even understand what he's trying to say. He sounded ridiculous. I wanted to say that, but also I was filling in in his golf league, so I couldn't call him on it because I was like, thanks for letting me come play today, but also you're annoying the crap out of me by chewing on your sunflower seeds all round long. And he's digging in the bag.
All it was just he kind of spit a little bit when he said his
I'm trying to
S's?
line up a 7-iron, and he's sitting there like crumbling the bag like the annoying person at the movie theater trying to get the last gummy bear. I'm like, Tyler, I'm trying to hit a 7-iron here.
Okay,
like,
so
stop making noise.
How much differently would your shot have gone had he not been making noise? Because I honestly do not believe that it could have been screwed up that bad.
Matt, it was a 3-person scramble. We finished 7 over, and we only played 9 holes. It couldn't have gone much worse. 844-770-3776. Continue to share your responses on the ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. The best and worst foods to eat while driving, or if you're revolutionizing the game with the air raid offense like Matt's wife, with cereal to go in a giant mug in the car. 844-770-3776. It's Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson in for Jim Rutledge, along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. Primetime Wollersheim back in the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm at the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, where you can see the Don Hudson Center is right behind me across the street. OTA practice is going on up here. We'll get into some Packers conversation from what's been a busy week of practice in Phase 3 of the offseason program. As we go to break, let's hear from Jim Rutledge telling us all about Carbon World Health.
You've heard me talk about Carbon World Health and semaglutide and hormone optimization for a while now. What are you waiting for if you haven't checked it out? And if you have checked it out, congratulations to you. You're probably seeing the results. Sign up for the 6-week experience. See what Dr. Ness Rodriguez and the whole team at Carbon World Health has to offer, and see if semaglutide, the first FDA-approved weight loss treatment, game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment, is right for you. Or maybe it's hormone optimization. Maybe you're not having that same vigor in the day-to-day life that you've had. Maybe you're not gaining muscle like you used to. Hormone optimization could be right for you. Find out what is right for you in your fitness journey at Carbon World Health.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and two-time 2024 National Curling Champion Matt Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues. This season, spring into adventure together in the Chevy of your choice.
See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
I would not have my daughter call me Mike.
Right.
She calls me Dad.
But your nephew says Uncle Michael.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Are you distinguishing between the Mike and the Michael?
No, I'm saying one's using your first name and one's not.
She calls me Dad.
Of course she calls you Dad.
You want her to call me Father Michael?
Papa Mike. Papa Mike.
What am I, a priest?
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday, and we will let you know where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, me and Matt are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Sportsman Bar and Grill, Chief's Tavern, Connie's Home Plate, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing me.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Friday on Rutledge and Hamilton. Presented by Coors Light. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
In for Jim Rutledge, I am Jesse Nelson, along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. Matt's in the Everlight Solar Studio with Primetime Wollersheim. I am at the Tundra Trio in Green Bay. Don Hudson Center, right there across the street if you're watching us on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel on the video stream. Lambeau Field just over there. I'm looking right at it. We're just a few months away from Green Bay Packers football. We're going to talk a little bit later about some hype around some huge games in Wisconsin sports, including one that I think is coming up this weekend. Matt, what is the thing that you have seen this week that has stood out to you from what Rob Domofsky or Jason Wilde or anybody has shared from Packers OTA practices? Because there was a lot that everybody was talking about over the course of the week. Tuesday, Christian Watson and his hamstring. The fact that the entire team is here, I think, is statistically significant. And a nice change of pace from what we've seen the last few years. What stood out most to you?
Honestly, I feel like Ryan might even have the audio for it. I'll explain it a little bit while he might find it. It's the Jordan Love clip of him saying how, like, injuries and stuff are out of his control. He still wants to, like, show up for practice, kind of like amidst this, like, contract situation. He's still here for his teammates, and, you know, he wants to make smart decisions on the field to keep him safe, but first and foremost, he's, like, team first. And, and just his, like, attitude about it is very refreshing. Especially after having two quarterbacks that weren't really into these kind of training camps. So,
well, let's not necessarily point Aaron Rodgers in that exact same situation because
in recent times, early. So I guess Jordan Love has time to grow out of it, but at the same time, like, it's refreshing because the last bit of quarterbacking we've known, at least for 5 years prior to Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers wasn't really showing up to these.
I do like what Jordan Love said. I mentioned that earlier this week.
I don't mean to throw Rodgers under the bus to elevate Jordan Love.
You don't have to apologize there. And
Jordan,
he's probably not listening. If he is,
he probably is. He probably
won't be. It's not the worst thing anyone on this show has ever said.
He's a big
him,
fan. So. He's a big fan of the show. So he's probably listening. I just think what Jordan Love's, the way he's conveying himself right now, especially in a time where, I can see teams or even just the way that your own, like, camp would want to spin things, it seems to be very cordial. Both people are on the same page. They feel like they both know that they're going to get a deal done. When that happens is probably up in the air, but Jordan doesn't seem to be holding the team ransom, so to speak, when you've seen players do this. So it is nice to see from our quarterback.
It is cool to see that they have nearly 100% attendance here this week. Matt LaFleur seemed like he was really happy that was the case. They had such good attendance that Paul Christ even showed up. Paul Christ, what are you doing here? It was a lot of fun to see that everybody's back together. You're like, the whole team's gelling, and that's what you like to see for a team that's growing together, that they have these off-season moments so that they don't just have to work through that when you get into the regular season. One thing that stood out to me, and it wasn't what popped first earlier in the week, but as the conversation has continued about it, Christian Watson's hamstring situation.
Yeah.
He's got 2 different size hamstrings?
Asymmetric.
And so he keeps pulling the one because it's not as big as the other? Like, that's the big conclusion we got from attending the Wow, really?
That's significant, and it's a real thing. You're as a curler who is sweeping all the stones with his left hand down, I promise you the left side of my upper body is larger than the right side because that's where I'm focusing my strength and power. And when you do something again and again, have high reps on it, you're going to be a little mismatched. And now,
but you're not walking around like Quasimodo, like one side being like, look at this.
I had a theory behind this, and I kind of got a little bit of an agree. Nestor Rodriguez from Carbon World Health did agree with me that when you do something with high reps and aren't necessarily doing something to balance that is going to be an issue. So my theory, I believe it's his right hamstring that seems to be smaller and the one he keeps pulling. Well, what's my theory is he's lining up on the left side of the line, or he's just making cuts when he's on the left side of the line. He's crossing the middle of the field, and when he's on the right side of the line, he's just going right. So that drive leg is always on his left leg, and that's what's going to continue to get stronger. While his right leg is just kind of his pivot leg, and when he's running routes, this guy might be like Derek Zoolander and can't turn left. He can only go right. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I tell you what. How about this? It's a great theory.
Let's go back and watch some tape. I bet he is faking to the left and then going right because he can't turn left.
I don't want to diminish your theory. It's a fine theory. I think over the Memorial Day weekend holiday, I don't know what other plans you have going on this weekend, Matt, but why don't you go back and watch every piece of Christian Watson film? In fairness, that's not that much since he's been with the Packers.
Right.
Most of it from a 5-game stretch 2 years ago, and find every cut he's ever made and see if he's cutting the same way every time and if he is truly Zoolander who can't go a certain direction.
Well, no, I think that's part of the reason is they were just slightly mismatched before. But once you tear something like that, he can't work on it. So you're going to continue to lose muscle while you're trying to recover. So he's at the end of his, let's call it recovery, and is starting to get back on track for football. Of course that hamstring that was injured is not going to be as large as the other hamstring because he hasn't been able to work it. It's been injured. He lost muscle mass from basically recovering. But the other side gets to work. If he's walking around on crutches or something, that leg that's not being held up, that's not being immobilized, is doing a lot of work. So, it makes sense that, basically once you injure something, especially in this fashion, it's just going to get worse before you can actually make it better. So that's the situation he seems to be in, which is why he went to talk to an expert. How do I get back to balanced? And they're hoping that he's way closer by the start of the season.
844-770-3776 with all the information that's come out this week here from Lambeau Field, which I'm sitting right next to here at the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field in the Don Hudson Center in Green Bay. What has stood out most to you from Packers practice this week? 844-770-3776. Jesse Nelson in for Jim Rutledge along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton and primetime Ryan Wollersheim, our producer behind the glass, running the show in the Everlight Solar Studios at ESPN Madison. J&K Security Solutions, a locally owned, family-run business that's been part of the Madison community for nearly 40 years. Jeffrey and the whole team at J&K care about making sure your home or business is safe and secure. With services ranging from commercial fire detection to commercial security and surveillance, they're dedicated to keeping your business safe. Jim Rutledge has been telling you about them for years. Home services include security and home automation services using Control4. Keep your home and business up to date with our friends at J&K Security Solutions. We'll continue to take your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers and also what foods are the best and worst to try and eat while you're driving, because I had a battle with a burrito. It was a hard-fought 12-round match on the way up I-41 today. 844-770-3776. We'll talk plenty more about that as we head into the Memorial Day weekend on Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, and we can prove it. Follow the show on Twitter at Jim and Matt.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Rutledge and Hamilton every Thursday, and we will let you know where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, me and Matt are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Sportsman Bar and Grill, Chief's Tavern, Connie's Home Plate, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Are you ready to start a meaningful career in healthcare? Are you looking for a job that fits your work-life balance? Become a certified direct care professional today and make life better for older adults or people with a disability. WIS Caregiver Careers makes it easy. With free online training plus earn a $500 bonus. See your name on Wisconsin's Certified Direct Care Registry. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
April showers bring May savings at Metro Kia Madison, like a 2024 Kia Sportage at 1.9% APR financing for 48 months, $21.65 per thousand borrowed. Or how about a 2024 Kia Telluride at 4.75% APR financing for 48 months, $22.92 per thousand borrowed. All offers for qualified credit only, plus get your current vehicle ready for summer with Metro Kia Spring Alignment Special, starting at $139.95. Hurry in to Metro Kia Madison today.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I don't know that you could put a ton of stock in a Jordan Love's OTA performance, but for him to be there is one no.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
Let's remember, Packers fans, where we were 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Carbon World Health.
I mean, I think part of the game we play is there's always injuries. There's always risk of that. So injuries are never anything that I've tried to stay away from. I think there's, I believe in God, and God has a plan for all of us. So it's not anything I worry about. That's one of those things you can't control. So I just try and control what I can control. You always got to play that fine line of being smart, sliding, trying to avoid hits. But at the same time, I'm a competitor. I'm going to try and go out there and get what I can. And
That is Packers quarterback Jordan Love, fearless, putting it in God's hands if he's going to get hurt during any practices before he signs his big contract extension. If he signs his big contract extension, I guess it depends which NFL insider you ask. Jesse Nelson along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. It is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, Matt Hamilton.
Absolutely, and that's crush a Coors Light.
Indeed it is. I will be crushing several when we're up north over the holiday weekend. Rain or shine. I hear there's some rain in the forecast this weekend, so hopefully it's not too bad. So that's the quote that you heard from Jordan Love earlier this week that stood out most to you from Packers OTA practices. I heard Jason Wilde ask Jordan Love that earlier this week as well, and I loved that answer. I loved what he said because it shows to me that it's the perfect answer for the situation that he's in. He is a quarterback who proved over the second half of last season that he's worthy of a big contract, a big second contract in Green Bay. He's going to get that contract. I would imagine Jordan Love is not the kind of guy who's going to hold out when he is waiting for that big contract. But it's also probably going to take a little bit of time because the Lions messed it up for everybody by paying Jared Goff bonko dollars for not really winning all that much outside of last season. And I don't think Jared Goff deserves the massive contract that he got. Joe Burrow with Cincinnati I think is a much better comp. But again, Joe Burrow is a quarterback that took the Bengals to the Super Bowl and knocked off some of the best in the AFC in the postseason over the last couple of years. So for me, when I hear Jordan Love talking about what he's going to go about this offseason and how he's going to approach practice and what he's going to be involved in or not involved in. What I love about his answer is that he's going to continue to go through the motions. He's basically letting his agent and the people who are responsible for coming up with the contract extension, He's here to bond with his players, with his team. He's going to go out to Door County with A.J. Dillon and the fellas this weekend, I would imagine. He's going to be up at the cabin. I might see him on the lake this weekend if it's warm enough. Like this is going to be what this time is about this offseason. He wants to be here with all this team. And it's, again, many of these players are second- and third-year players and are key contributors to what this team is going to look like this season. So having them all together, having them practicing, not going through the drama of this is what I want for my money and I'm going to hold out until I get it and all that kind of stuff. I want them to get paid accordingly. I think Goody and the Packers want them to get paid accordingly, and it's just a matter of time to get to that point in the negotiation. So I love what he said.
Accordingly?
I think it's perfect.
What to you is accordingly? What's a good number?
I like doing it by comparison, and I know that's not necessarily fair in many cases, but I like north of 50 because I think Daniel Jones is in that 50 range, and he's better than Daniel Jones.
I believe Daniel Jones is about $40 million per year, actually.
Is he
right
40?
around the Dak
Okay.
Prescott, yeah.
Well, so if Daniel Jones was 4, this might have been where I got crossed up. So if Daniel Jones is 40, and yeah, I would say Jordan Love deserves 50. Because he is significantly better than what Daniel Jones is. And again, it's hard to do this in simply a comparison process. It's almost like when you're in a classroom and you're taking a test. Like, okay, just because 5 people stunk at taking the test doesn't mean that I'm that much better because I had a 73 on it. It just means they stunk that they got a 40 on it. So just because the Lions and the Giants paid a ton of money to 2 quarterbacks who were pretty average
So you're
doesn't
saying
mean that
they're paying on a curve right now?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a curve that comes because if you're an agent and you're going through negotiations, like I understand both sides of this. If you're a Jordan Love's agent, you're looking at it, the first thing you're going to say when you're negotiating a contract is, well, he's better than Daniel Jones. That's the minimum we should be talking about.
I hope that's not the first thing he says.
You're right. Okay, so
well, he's
Patrick
better than
Mahomes.
Daniel Jones.
Like, okay, he ain't Patrick Mahomes. We're not going to pay him what Mahomes is making.
I don't think so.
But he's definitely better than that guy. He's definitely better than that guy. He's definitely better than that guy. And a lot of those guys that they're going to be pointing the names to are making more than $50 million a year. So I think he is going to be in the $50 million a year range. I kind of like the 50. And again, I don't know what it comes down to if there's guaranteed money and however that might shake out that could influence this. 53, 54 feels right if you want to lock in what you believe to be a franchise quarterback of the future.
My question is, and maybe this is me just playing devil's advocate, but Jordan Love realistically had what? 10, 9, good games? We'll give him 10 and then maybe 4 of them were great, 5 of them were great regular season. Is that enough to pay a guy top 5 quarterback money in the league? Because a lot of these other quarterbacks, mind you, they start early in their rookie contract. So teams really have a pretty good idea of what they are and what they're capable of. Most of these guys who get big contracts are at least through their sophomore season of starting. Jordan Love just finished his freshman year starting, his first year starting. I would almost, for me, like, can I get a prove it year? Can I see you're still under contract for another season? We have the right to franchise you after that. Obviously, you'd want to avoid that. You don't want to upset your potential star quarterback. But realistically, we're going to throw him top 5 quarterback money on 2/3 of his season of solid football that we saw from him. Where a lot of these other guys have some real evaluation on them before they get paid.
I've heard this argument made many times that, well, he had a good second half of the season. Does he deserve to make all that money? And now my entire trip to Green Bay.
Well, there's no requirement to give him a contract this offseason. That's my big thing. Is like everyone's talking Jordan Love getting a contract. He's still under contract for another season. You don't have to pay him right now. You can even do it in the middle of the season coming up. Like, I think there's a cutoff time, but you have at least the first couple weeks.
Homer made this point when he joined us on Wilde and Tausch the other day, too. There's 2 franchise tags that you could, in theory, place on Jordan Love, so he's really under contract for the next 3 years if you wanted to play hardball with him. But
right,
that's
and I don't want to, but I also don't want to jump the gun on a guy who, like, how many times have you seen somebody have a good season and then fall off a cliff? Mitch Trubisky comes to mind. Had a pretty good rookie season. Got figured out. Has been a journeyman since. Like,
but that's also what the point of last year was, Matt. That's what the point of last year was. That's why he signed the prove-it deal last year, and then on the back half of the season, he proved it. He deserves the contract. The Packers
I'm not
want
saying
him to
he
have
doesn't.
the contract.
I think he's a good quarterback.
Solidity.
I'm just saying that there's guys who make less money that have proven that they can do it for more than one season. And Jordan Love obviously hasn't had that opportunity, but is it unfair to think that we should wait and see how this next season at least starts or at least plays out?
How long would you say they need to wait before signing him to that kind of contract? During the season?
I'm not sure. I mean, here's the thing. You got to kind of play the guy, too. If it seems like you're upsetting him to the point where maybe he might not sign the contract, like, you got to get it done. But from the sounds of it, Jordan Love's not necessarily... Doesn't seem that way. Maybe it's because he thinks the contract's getting done, so it's no big deal. But he seems like he's just there to play. He knows he's under contract. He's doing his thing, focusing on football. If that's not something that's going to absolutely throw a wrench in the relationship, I wouldn't mind seeing 4 games, 5 games next year before you give him a contract.
And what if after 4 games, it looks like 4 games from the beginning of the season of Jordan Love, or that October Jordan Love?
Then I think you would have a little bit of room to stand on. One, you might be able to still sign him, but save yourself a little bit of money. Maybe you're not the $50 million guy. Maybe you're 48. Maybe you're not a $56 million a year quarterback. Maybe we'll give you 48, 49.
But I mean, can't you just keep pushing and pushing then, and like, can't you just keep moving the goalposts?
Well, here's the thing.
Well, you did it for half a season. Well, you did it for 1 season.
You
did it for 3/4 of a season.
You're also kind of putting yourself at risk, right? Like, say he goes out and balls out, he might demand a high 50s number or like a 60, right? Like, I'm not making sure he knows that this is one of those things. Like, this is for you to get better or like, you can improve what we were planning on giving you by having a really great season. But ensuring to the fans and ensuring to the organization that you're a guy who can be counted on year in and year out, he obviously has not had that opportunity to prove it, and that's a lot of money for a guy who's legitimately only played 1 season of NFL football.
My counter to the argument of, well, he only had half a season of good football.
I'm giving him over than that. I'm giving him 2/3.
Well, my counter to that is this, and it makes my entire trip to Green Bay worthwhile just for this visual exercise for those of you joining us on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Because I don't care what he does there behind me. I care what he does there at Lambeau Field. I don't care if he's struggling in the early season at training camp over there. I care about if he's winning football games in the postseason, getting the team there at Lambeau Field. He did that on the back half of last season.
He did. He certainly did. And I'm kind of more playing devil's advocate here than anything, just because part of me does feel like that it's just not enough. Most guys who get contracts have way more on their resume than Jordan Love does right now, and he is probably going to be getting top 5 quarterback money or better. No, I can't think of another situation where a guy played one season of good football and got a contract this large.
844-770-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text
Give
line.
me if you have an example, anyone out there, let me know. But this seems like new territory, uncharted waters, and I don't know if this is the new par for the course. You pay that quarterback in less than a season if you think he's the guy. But it seems like a really big risk. Packers put themselves in this situation, so they got to do what they got to do. But I've never seen a contract situation like this where a guy is going to be one of the highest paid guys in all of the NFL, a top 5 guy, and he played 10 good games out of 17, and that is it for his. Because I'm doing him a favor by not looking at the Kansas City Chiefs game that he played for Rodgers the year before when he got in. I'm only looking at his starting season. 2/3 of the season was good, and I would say a little bit over a third, maybe half of it looked like outstanding football, which is great. But can you do that over the course of a season?
I mean,
without
I don't
having
know
the lows that you had to start the year?
I don't know if Jordan Love can do that over the whole course of a season, but I'm pretty sure Jesse Nelson can't stay connected for a full hour from the Tundra Trio. I believe we have lost him. He is frozen on the YouTube stream.
And it's a very creepy look, too. He's like staring into your soul on the YouTube stream.
I can see it from where I am here. So I'm still here in audio spirit. I'm just not on the video for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal is.
That's fine.
Wi-Fi's
you look
been a
ridiculous
little
on the
shaky
video,
here.
but it's fine.
It was all worth it for my visual exercise. Hopefully that lives in infamy. 844-770-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We're going to review some of your responses on the Jordan Love contract situation, on foods that are the best and worst to eat while you're driving, as many of you like me probably eating on the go tonight as you're getting out of town for the Memorial Day weekend holiday, and still to come, the most hyped regular season games for our Wisconsin sports teams, because there is one on the horizon this weekend. Don't go anywhere. Jesse Nelson in for Jim Rutledge with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. It's Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Need more of Judgmental Jim? Subscribe to the Rutledge and Hamilton podcast, presented by Revive Restoration, wherever you get your podcasts. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Wisconsin volleyball commit Charlie Furbringer won the USA Volleyball Junior Female Athlete of the Year award. The California native also won the 2023 Gatorade California Volleyball Player of the Year and a gold medal at the 2023 U19 World Championships. You can hear every match of Wisconsin volleyball on Madison's new home for Wisconsin volleyball, 100.5 ESPN.
Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Steinhaffel's biggest Memorial Day sale ever is happening now. Your chance to save big on hundreds of closeouts and amazing bonus buys. Take an extra $100 off your furniture purchase of $19.99 or more. Spend $29.99 and get a free solo stove. Get all this and more for low monthly payments when you take advantage of Steinhaffel's 36-month 0% financing. The biggest Memorial Day sale ever, only at Steinhaffel's and Steinhaffels.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. Every week, Dennis Summerow and I talk all things area high school sports, and we talk to local athletes, coaches, administrators, and more. You can find full shows over on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is also brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, Pasquale's Cantina, UW Credit Union, Stoughton Trailers, the GRB Academy, and Stoughton Health.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Brewers Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Brewers Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Brewers Company, your outdoor living experts.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Fish Friday on Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light, heading into the Memorial Day weekend holiday. Jesse Nelson, live from Green Bay in the Tundra Trio, just outside of Lambeau Field in the Don Hudson Center. And I'm back on the video stream. Hey, everybody, on the video stream. I'm back. Not
lucky you.
Yeah, Matt Hamilton back at the Everlight Solar Studio, ESPN Madison, along with primetime Ryan Wollersheim running the show. Camper Jim is out in full effect this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Camping. So I hope everything's going just swimmingly. A good rainstorm to start this morning.
Yeah, I can feel the stress. You know what I mean? You know how, like, in Star Wars, they can feel like a disturbance in the Force? That's me and Jim have that, like, connection, and there's a disturbance in the Force right now with this weather and him hauling a camper and has kids and probably a dog, probably trying to eat a burrito and spilling all over the place. I can sense the anger. I can feel the hate flow through him right now. He is a Sith Lord at this moment in time.
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come. 844-770-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We've covered a lot of ground in the first hour of the show, and various fans weighing in on different aspects of things, including Jeremiah and Madison. Come on, Matt.
Oh, no.
Don't you remember rookie contracts before they capped it? Talking about Jordan Love and how much he deserves.
Yeah, when did they cap the rookie contracts? I think I was in high school back then.
High school? Wow. Come on. You were probably just graduating college, right?
What was it, 1960?
Yeah. McFarland College?
Yeah, McFarland College. University Tech State.
Our guys, Z and the D, Zach and the Dells. The best thing I can think of eating on the road while you're driving, if you missed it, I had a battle with a burrito this afternoon, and it really led us to just this entire conversation about how bad I am at eating in the car. Zach and the Dells. The best thing I can think of eating on the road while you're driving is Bosco sticks. Are you familiar with Bosco sticks, Matt?
Yeah.
For many of us, they're known as cheesy breadsticks in this part of the country.
Well, I don't know. We got Bosco sticks at like, it was served at lunch in school. Like, if you wanted to pay the extra, like, $1.50 for Bosco sticks and a marinara dip, you could. It was like
Why do they call them Bosco sticks?
I think it's just
Bosco?
it's like Kleenex. It's not, it's just a brand name. But
is it? Because, like, but Kleenex is like a universal supplier of.
So I think they were like
everywhere.
a regional one that sold them to schools. So a lot of kids that had like not necessarily a set hot lunch, but they had like maybe 2 options. Bosco sticks were just there.
I would like to learn more about the Bosco Empire, I think, because how do you specialize in just one thing, cheesy-filled breadsticks,
I don't know,
and become so prominent in that one thing that you get it named after you?
I had them in high school, and honestly, now when I see cheesy breadsticks, I pretty much just call them Bosco sticks.
I have a friend who does the same thing. I've never called them Bosco. I've never heard of Bosco sticks until college when my friends were I thought it was an Illinois thing. Apparently, it's a universal thing. I just have been out. Wooly, did you have Bosco sticks in like school lunches growing up?
We had what we called pizza sticks, which was just like marinara sticks with like pizza breading and just cheese on the inside. No marinara on the inside.
Right,
I don't know if that's
cheese.
a Bosco stick.
Bosco
That's
sticks
what they are.
is just cheese on the inside.
So it's
okay.
Yeah, it's got
but they had like a little white paper bag that they came in, and it had like a little like guy that said Bosco sticks. It looked like a little Italian guy, right?
You know why there was an Italian guy? It's apparently named after St. John Bosco. Actually, I just looked it up while you guys were talking about it. He's the patron saint of children. And the reason that they're naming it after that is that the original Bosco Carryout Pizzeria was in Warren, Pennsylvania, next to a high school.
There you go.
So it's honestly, I think, creepier than I was hoping to find, actually.
Bosco sticks. That's a thing, Jesse.
That's who we're naming Bosco sticks after? They're the saint of children?
Yep.
You got to make sure you're eating at school.
Yeah.
Bosco sticks to the rescue.
Nutritious. Yeah, all you need is cheese marinara.
I mean, that's
like to
a
officially
vegetable,
go on.
that's dairy, you get your bread in
Got
there.
the grain.
Yeah, that's perfect.
My personal favorite move is to double cheese it up. So most people go marinara with the Bosco stick. You take the nacho cheese and you dip the Bosco stick or the cheesy breadstick in the nacho cheese.
And then you don't have to worry about the restroom the rest of the drive.
And we're at all surprised that Jesse Nelson spills food on himself while driving. When he's doubling up on cheese for his Bosco sticks.
Yeah.
Can I become like a new Bosco? Can I call that the Jesse stick if it's a cheesy breadstick that dipped in nacho cheese?
I don't think that's going to sell very well.
No.
Let's just stick with Bosco.
No, sounds messy.
What's wrong with a Jesse stick?
Because no one's going to want to eat it.
Tune into Thanalysis show every week. Bucks player Thanasis Antetokounmpo isn't doing anything else right now because they are eliminated from the playoffs. So he's hosting his podcast, and he sits down with special guests to have fun and honest conversations. Conversations with NBA stars Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell, also eliminated from the playoffs. Basketball media royalty Jay Williams, and more big-name guests already up, part of Season 2 of Thanalysis. Find Thanalysis show today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcast, and subscribe to the Thanalysis Show YouTube channel for accompanying videos and special content, working on the Jesse stick to officially be a proud partner of Thanalysis Show. 844-770-3776. Jeremiah and Madison back on the text line. No Bosco sticks in O-Town, but we had the greasy cookie.
Classic.
Now, is that just the large cookie? Like
yeah.
The skillet cookie is another fun one. But
you
definitely
need to get that
not
at school. We're talking
thing.
about like school foods.
Just the big cookie. Everybody's got the big chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, it was amazing. 844. But this isn't about school
Here's
lunches.
the thing: is I don't think the Bosco stick, as much as I love Z and the D, and I definitely appreciate his opinion. Dunking anything is a bad idea in the car. Anything you have to dunk, like maybe he's just eating the Bosco sticks straight up, just bread and cheese. That would be acceptable. But if you've got a dunk, you are risking at that transfer point bringing that saucy Bosco stick to your mouth. You're going to spill some of that marinara. And if you're wearing a white shirt like Jesse, you're going to look like a fool on the stream, on the live stream for your radio show.
You do not want to risk that saucy Bosco stick en route to your mouth while you're in the car. And you thought the Jesse stick was one of the weirdest things you heard this first segment.
Yeah, right.
There is a huge game in Wisconsin sports coming up on this Memorial Day weekend. To me, it's the biggest game in, let me do the math, 16 years for one particular team. We will talk about that and some of the most hyped games in Wisconsin sports history coming up in 2 minutes to start the 5 o'clock hour of Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair. so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by us as your new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. Yes, new season, new conference opponents, new radio home, but the same goal to win a national title. Listen to every match all season long, beginning this fall on 100.5 ESPN. Milwaukee Brewers also starting a new 3-game road series tonight at the Boston Red Sox. Right-handed pitcher Bryce Wilson will be starting the opener of that 3-game series. This series will wrap up the Brewers' 9-game road trip after they lost went 1-2 against the Miami Marlins earlier this week, only winning on Tuesday with a 7-5 victory thanks to a Christian Yelich 2-run home run. Brewers still currently 2 games ahead of the rest of the NL Central Division this regular season. Meanwhile, the Packers OTAs continue up at Green Bay Lambeau Field. Green Bay's first media access was earlier this week, and we found out Tucker Kraft and Zach Tom both suffered torn pectorals while lifting weights this offseason. And wide receiver Christian Watson also discovered that he suffers from hamstring asymmetry. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more from Packers OTAs all offseason. Rutledge Hamilton out 2.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
You got the chill.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton with Jim Rutledge and Matt Hamilton.
People like me.
That's some booty, Jim.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Everyone is so mean to me.
I am Jim Rutledge.
There is not a lot of things more satisfying than...
If you don't find a roast funny, there's a million different things I want to know what you find funny.
Did you know that strip clubs are also illegal here? So if I want to see a naked woman, I have to take a 6-hour flight to Scotland. Or there's your wife.
If I'm taking any woman to Scotland, it's going to be my wife.
Good answer.
But if I did, probably leave me for a Scotsman, which is fair.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio with Matt Hamilton, here's Jesse Nelson.
Why does the big voice guy sound so sad that I'm here?
Well, Jesse.
That's so mean.
I didn't say it. The kid
The big
said it.
voice guy, everyone's so happy in that intro. And, Matt's got the Scotland thing. It's funny. Well, along with Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton, it's Jesse Nelson.
Look.
It's just like fuddy-duddies are rolling into town.
Look, Jesse, just be happy I didn't include the other things Big Voice Guy was saying about you, all right?
Yeah.
I swear, there's a lot more worse things I could have put out there.
If only the people could see what finds the editing room floor from Big Voice Guy. I know a whole different side to ESPN Madison. 844-770-3776. Heading into your Memorial Day weekend. Jim Rutledge camping on assignment. So I'm in. Jesse Nelson. I'm at the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field in the Don Hudson Center, where rumor has it Jason Wilde may be stopping by here in the next 10 to 15 minutes here at the Tundra Trio to join us. Matt Hamilton.
I don't believe him. I don't
baited
believe
him. Well, I think here's why I think it's going to happen. I have a sweatshirt to give him that came from one of our great partners, Johnson & Sons Paving, on Wilde and Tausch, and so I think he'll come by because I got something free to give him.
Gotcha. Got the swag bait.
And then as long as he's coming by, he's got to join his favorite Olympic gold medalist and his favorite producer of his show, weekdays 9 to noon, on ESPN Wisconsin, at least for one segment, to find out what he's thinking from OTAs. I know what he thinks about my take on the Brewers game coming up on Monday, and he does not agree with me. I want to know if you agree, Matt. The Milwaukee Brewers host Craig Counsell, Benedict Counsell.
Who's that?
And the Chicago Cubs. Now,
how's he significant to the Brewers?
Right, so here's the thing. I think you're joking, but sometimes you don't know things, and so I don't actually know if you're joking or not. Do you know who Craig Counsell is? Please confirm yes or no.
Former center for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, my God.
No, yeah, I'm aware he did some things with the Brewers. Never won anything with the Brewers, but he was on the Brewers, and he managed for the Brewers. He's just Just another guy.
One of the most successful managers in Milwaukee Brewers franchise history, took the team to 4 consecutive playoff appearances, 5 in 6 years. Had a great run in what many can consider, because there is no championship to be had, the golden age of Milwaukee Brewers baseball, which may or may not still be continuing, because the Brewers are still in first place in the National League Central Division. It's them and the Cubs, 1-2. Nobody else is really close already 2 months into the season. So this looks like Memorial Day, Craig Counsell's return to AmFam Field. It's going to be electric. 3:10 first pitch, which is the time that all the pros come out. If you're a professional AmFam Field goer, and you're going to go to a game, Memorial Day, 3:10, the party's going to be on all morning. You got time to post it afterward. Like, it's going to be so electric on Monday at AmFam Field. And as somebody who grew up with my dad as an usher at that stadium, and the amount of games that I went to every summer when that team couldn't win 60 games in a season, for this atmosphere on Monday, Brewers fans and, yes, even the Cubs fans alike that are going to be coming together for this thing, I believe, Matt Hamilton, that Monday's Brewers-Cubs game will be the second biggest regular season game at AmFam Field ever played, outside of the only other one being the end of the 2008 season when the Brewers beat the Cubs. Everybody sat around, watched the Marlins and Mets game in the 8th and 9th inning, and the Brewers ultimately clinched their first playoff berth in 26 years as a franchise. I think this game is second biggest regular season, we're talking. Not playoffs, not Game 7 with the Dodgers, and none of that other stuff. Just regular season, games at AmFam Field, second biggest since the stadium opened in 2001. Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. A lot of people really like Spite. And if you really like Spite, you're geared up for this game, because you want to show that Craig Counsell made the wrong move, right? You want the Brewers to win and be like, you chose the lesser team. That was dumb. Thanks for playing, right? Like that's the reason it's hyped, right? That's the reason you're hyped.
Yeah, I wish I was going to be there on Monday. If I wasn't going up north this weekend, I would be in attendance on Monday, and I'd be booing the hell out of Craig Counsell. I am so mad at that traitor for leaving the Milwaukee Brewers for a big payday to go to the division rival, and it's not like anybody else's job, and I don't want to hear those comparisons. This isn't like, well, if a competing TV station offered you this much, you would go to it. It's not the same. When you grow up cheering for the team as your hometown team, you go to the games, your dad works for the team, you play for the team, you take over managing the team, and you are so good for so long but can't win a championship, and then you say, I need to pursue a new challenge. It's a load of crap. You're lying to the fans for saying you wanted to take a huge payday from the division rival that's going to fork it out for you. It's unreal what
Fair.
Craig Counsell painted this as. He is public enemy number one in Wisconsin sports, and I can't wait to see all the Brewers fans packing into AmFam Field on Memorial Day, booing the hell out of that traitor to the Milwaukee Brewers franchise.
Now, on this show, we have notoriously said that the Brewers, they don't want to win a World Series. They just want to be good enough to put butts in seats.
I have heard that said on this show. I have not heard you say that on this show.
I definitely agree with that. Like the way that they love to get rid of their big players, especially in moments where it might seem kind of crazy to do that. The Brewers seem to do that, especially lately. I do think that this is a bit of a traitor move from Counsell. Like, I get it. Like, it's your team. But he obviously has a little more of that insider knowledge of what's going on. If he truly thought that they were not going to invest enough while he was the general manager to ever win a series, I don't blame him for going to a place that actually would pay players and give you that possibility. Like, there's a reason the Brewers have not won a World Series, and I promise you, it's not just because of bad luck.
You don't think he could have gone to do that somewhere else?
I mean,
how many teams had managerial openings at last offseason?
No,
that would have
don't
taken
get me
Craig
wrong.
Counsell?
completely
wanted that
agree with
bad.
you, but
And
he
then-
probably
and
doesn't
then
even
for
have
him
to
to
move
sit there-
houses. He could probably stay right where he's at and still coach
Yeah, he's
him.
taking the train to work every day. I'm sure he's just running
Yeah,
up
like
and-
I don't blame him for
That's-
not wanting to uproot the family either. Like again, take a look at it a little more objectively. This is still just another regular season baseball game. It's cool because it's Memorial Day. It's cool because you play your rival. But Craig Counsell, I don't see the juice in it that much.
I
don't-
hate this.
I'm
Memorial
sorry.
Day.
You
is-
just explained to me who he was a minute ago. What do you want me?
Oh my God! Memorial Day. So when you look at the big days on the baseball calendar, Wooly, you're a baseball guy. You can back me up on this. Opening day,
big baseball guy.
Mother's Day, Father's Day, pretty big.
Those are
Memorial
solid
Day,
ones.
4th of July,
Opening day is the
Labor
biggest
Day.
game, right?
Opening day is definitely the one that gets the most juice leading in because it's the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But the ones Jesse's mentioning, I think July 4th is a big one for people relaxing, having it on in the background at the barbecue. Memorial Day is a big one too because that's when you kind of learned how good most teams are. And now you get some pretty good matchups. And it feels like the Brewers-Cubs matchup is a pretty common one on Memorial Day.
It's huge. It's going to have playoff ramifications, and I know it's early in
Playoff
the
ramifications.
season. I know it's early in the season. It's
Hold
a
on.
4-game series with the
Let me
Cubs
pull
this
up the
week.
Daily Primer. The Cubs are 27-24. The Brewers 28-21. Both
They're the
are
only
not
two
even
teams
50
over
games
500 in the
season.
division. It's a huge series. 4 games. Remember, they changed the schedule so you don't play the Cubs 20 times anymore. You only play them at AmFam Field twice this year. This is one of the stretches. 4 games. Memorial Day, 3:10. Huge game. It's gonna
Protect
be,
your stadium. None shall pass.
It is going to be a massive day on Monday. And if you think otherwise, you're foolish. This isn't another one of 162. This is an insane electric atmosphere that's going to take over AmFam Field to get after Craig Counsell, to get after the Cubs, and also try and help the team win a division in a year that it was totally unexpected they might have a chance to do that.
And why was it unexpected that they would have a chance to do that?
Because their manager ditched them,
and
because the entire pitching staff is hurt, and it continues to
Hurt?
get more and more hurt.
Or traded.
Well, one was traded, and then others are
How
hurt.
about 2 years ago? What else happened? Who else was traded 2 years ago?
Well, Josh Hader was traded in the middle of a playoff race.
Yep.
That did happen. You're right. That was
Yep.
upsetting. I am not saying that Brewers leadership is not to blame, and that they're not cheap, and that they're not getting the stigma of being the new version of what the
I'm
old
saying
Tampa
they're
Bay
the reason
Devil Rays
Counsell
used to
left.
be.
They're the
They
reason
are
Counsell
part of the
left.
reason that Counsell left. But Counsell also wanted a big payday because he didn't need a new challenge. Because guess what, Craig? You didn't finish your first challenge. You got us to the playoffs a few times. Great. Game 7 of the
That's
NLCS.
funny he's
that
saying
was
this because
fun.
he literally just called it the golden years of Brewers baseball.
Because we haven't won anything. That
Yeah,
is
I know.
also true.
So you can
it is
still
the golden
be,
age
you
of
can
Brewers
appreciate
baseball.
that he brought you the best Brewers baseball you've ever seen, and then when he left for a payday, be like, you know what? Go get yours.
Yeah, and people are going to remember the good things Richard Nixon did as president, too.
Seems like a
Is that
very
what you're
interesting
calling him?
metaphor.
Is he getting together with his party in a hotel room and letting confidential secrets
Yeah, at the
leak?
Fistro Hotel. Like, what's going on here?
I don't know what Craig and the Cubs were talking about last year when they were playing in this pennant race. I don't know.
I
That's
don't know.
funny. In the same breath, he called it the golden age of sports, and then he's like, "Well, what did he do for us? Just got us to 5 playoff appearances in 6 years." Like the guy,
Craig Counsell,
he
was
did
a
everything
great-
he could with the Brewers. He put the Brewers were playing at max capacity. They could not have done any better without getting more help from the ownership. And Craig was like, "I'm want to be a manager, and I'd love to manage this team, but they need to be as invested in this team as I am," and they weren't. And that's why he left the Brewers.
Then what the hell's happening this year? How come the team suddenly has life and juice, and even though everybody's hurt or been traded, that they're still in contention and still in first place in the freaking division 2 months in?
Do you
It's
want
awesome.
me to say that this is still just like this? You know, like how Goody was trying to get rid of all the teams or all the players that he didn't draft. They're just getting rid of the Craig Counsell era right now. This is still
not at
this
all
is
what's
still
happening.
Craig Counsell hangover hanging out in the Brewers dugout. Yeah.
Christian Yelich
Pat
is
Murphy
not
era.
David Bakhtiari that they're saying, how do we move on from this guy in a timely
No, they're
fashion?
not. But I'm saying is like Craig Counsell his fingerprints are still on this team.
Linger on your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. The Craig Counsell linger on your finger is still applicable to this Brewers
The
team.
Counsell finger's still all over
That's
this.
why they're still doing great. Like, who knows? If this manager, I don't even know our current manager.
Really?
Yes, I don't.
You don't? You should learn him.
What do you think? What do you think his name is? Just take a guess.
Yeah.
What is the name? Matt Hamilton, baseball insider, looking ahead to Brewers Cubs Memorial Day at American Family Field. Huge game in the National League Central Division. Craig Counsell leads the Chicago Cubs in against the Milwaukee Brewers, led by manager
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles.
Not it.
The head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also in his side gig, leads the Milwaukee Brewers. Incorrect. You want to give it another go?
No, I don't. I could
Come on.
Google it.
No Googling.
Okay,
no
let's
video
go.
assistance.
His first name is also the name of a Bucks player on the current roster.
Okay, the 2 Bucks players, actually.
Oh, I was
yeah.
going to say Thanasis. But
Okay, yep. That is not it.
Giannis
One more
Antetokounmpo.
guess. There's a famous
Pat?
law named after the last name of this fella.
Oh, the trivia's coming out from Jesse now.
I have
oh,
no
God.
idea. Let me know. Who is it? Who's our new manager?
That would be
Ole, you
Mr.
want to tell him?
Pat Murphy, Matt.
Pat. So you did hear me guess Pat.
Did you say Pat?
I did say Pat.
I heard Thanasis.
Well, no, like literally.
I heard Thanasis as well. Hand up. I only heard
10
Thanasis.
seconds ago. 10 seconds
All
ago.
right, all right.
You can play it back and you can find it.
We'll play it back. We'll find it. But well done. Yes, Pat Murphy. He looks like, I don't know. He looks
Well,
like
that's
a gargoyle.
kind of a forgettable name. I'm sorry.
He has forgettable name, unforgettable face. He is a gargoyle with legs and arms. He is a true living, breathing statue.
So if he can give us 3 good like divisional races where we're in contention to win a division for the next 3 years, hats off to him. But right now, what are we? 40 games off of Counsell? 50 games off of Counsell? You can't tell me that his fingerprints are still not a part of this team right now.
Of course it is. And that's why this game on Monday has so much juice heading into it. 844-770-3776.
Well, now that I feel like there's juice behind it, maybe you just built it up for me.
For all I know, Jason Willey's been waiting at the front door for 10 minutes because we got into this Counsell debate. I don't know if he's here or not. I'm going to go look for him. I think he's coming up to join us here any second. In the meantime, as we go to commercial break here, 844-770-3776, Rutledge and Hamilton presented by Coors Light. Let's hear from our friend Jim Rutledge. While he's camping, when he gets back, he's going to want to go hit up Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton.
That was actually meant for you to read there, Jesse.
Well, I love Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. It is really awesome. The Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour every day over at Ruth's Chris. They have such an amazing squad over there. It is so awesome when we get over to Ruth's Chris. One of the best times that I've ever had at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse was when we went over there for our postseason champion show from Prep Mania a couple of years ago. We had coaches from Columbus and Monroe right after they had won the state championships, and they brought their significant others, and they had this awesome steak, and it was just so great. And you get to just have the old fashions and all the great beverages there. The happy hour is awesome. The full spread is amazing. Check it out, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Jim will always tell you to head over there as well. 844-770-3776. Maybe Jason Wilde scheduled to appear next.
You're listening to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Jim Rutledge here to talk to you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household. We love going to all 3 of their locations, whether it's in DeForest, Madison, or in Verona. We get the same great service and food every time we go, no matter the location. Even better, when we have parties, cookouts, or anything in between, I don't have to spend all my time over the grill. Instead, I give a call to the folks at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. So hurry in to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household.
Hi, I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. I've been here for over 4 decades now, and I can tell you here at Goodman's Jewelers, we pride ourselves on high standards, classic traditions, honesty, and integrity. We're a small independent jeweler with a great history, so you'll find us more personal than other big-name jewelers. Find Goodman's Jewelers in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Since 1961, Stoughton Trailers has been a family-owned and operated business with 3 generations calling Stoughton home for over 60 years. To continue their growth and support for their local community, Stoughton Trailers is building a new corporate headquarters right here in Stoughton. This new HQ is designed to promote the physical, mental, and business health of Stoughton Trailers and its employees. Stoughton Trailers, looking forward to the limitless possibilities that lie ahead. Stoughton Trailers, the best is yet to come.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I don't know that you could put a ton of stock in a Jordan Love's OTA performance, but for him to be there is one no.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery.
Let's remember, Packers fans, where we were 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe, presented by Door County Distillery. Live on ESPN Madison's YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and available wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome back to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl. It took me a long time to get
Rutledge and
back
Hamilton,
on
presented by Coors Light. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Jesse Nelson in for Jim Rutledge, along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. He's in the Everlight Solar Studio. I am at the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, where Jason Wilde is not in attendance just yet, but he is on his way. So he will be here next segment. We're going to be joined by Jason Wilde, talking all things Packers, OTAs, and I wonder if he's a good car eater.
Kind of seems like the kind of guy that might not eat at all in his car.
No, he spends a lot of time in the car driving the girls to and from Milwaukee for different things. I bet he's good at it. I bet he's perfected the sweet science of car eating. So we will talk with Jason Wilde about that and plenty more here on this Fish Friday on Rutledge and Hamilton. So with Jason coming up next, let's make a little switcheroo and time now for pole dancing.
We asked and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Rutledge and Hamilton.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, we all know it's a Fish Friday, so that means we go pole dancing here on Rutledge and Hamilton. Jesse Nelson, I'm pretty sure this is your first time around pole dancing, but let me explain the rules for a novice like you. When it comes to this, we go around the ESPN Wisconsin polls from this week. We look at the responses, we sift through it, and we give our answers for how we think the poll should have gone. So the first one I got for you guys is from a little show some irrelevant that was going on earlier today.
No idea. Irrelevant.
Couldn't tell you what it's about, but they want to know who would benefit most from the Packers winning a Super Bowl. Brian Gutekunst, Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, or other. Since other isn't a good response, we'll just look at the other three. Brian Gutekunst, 28%, Matt LaFleur, 32%, Jordan Love, 38%. Matt Hamilton, what do you say?
Man, honestly, the one who benefits the most is probably Goody, because he's the one that kind of decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers. You're the golden ticket, at least that we thought, to winning multiple Super Bowls. He decided the time was up, the writing was on the wall, wasn't going to happen with Rodgers anymore, and decided to move on with Love. This whole team is a Goody-built team now. Like, I think he's the one. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love's going to be fine whether he wins one or not, I feel like. We love him here in Wisconsin. He's going to be just fine. I think Goody, this is going to mean a lot if he can knock it out. So I think that's probably right, this poll.
Jesse, what do you say?
I don't like the question from this irrelevant show because, like, none of them have won a Super Bowl already, so everybody's going to benefit from winning their first Super Bowl. It's not like anyone's legacy is more cemented than the other.
Well, the question was benefit most.
Right.
So
I think it's pretty even. I guess you could probably make the argument for Goody because he's built teams and it would validate moving on from Rodgers when he did. LaFleur it would cement as one of the great head coaches, so there's a strong argument there. I mean, there have been quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls who are not among the elite. So until you win two, which this though would propel Jordan Love to be on a career trajectory very similar to Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and others around the league, that if you win one early, it gives you that many more chances to win one late. So I think they all benefit pretty strongly. I don't know if any one benefits more than the others. I guess I would lean Goody, but there's a great case to be made for each.
All right, well, Goody was the least responded answer at 29%, but we'll go to another poll, probably put out by the same guy who thought of that irrelevant one. On Kyle Brust and Norman earlier today, they asked, for a 3-day weekend like Memorial Day weekend, do you prefer having Friday or Monday off? Now, 39% of respondents said they'd rather have Friday off. 61% said Monday off. Jesse Nelson, you're an expert of vacations. You're the most seasoned veteran here. What would you say? What would you rather have?
Do you see the other guy hosting this show? And do you want to say that I'm the experienced veteran of the days off?
I'm working, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going.
What do you think I'm doing here? Jeez.
Look, Robin Madison thinks you're at an Airbnb right now just so you can host Rutledge and Hamilton. He asked on the YouTube stream.
You know what? We should consider that as a business model for the Tundra Trio because a lot of people would love to stay here. As a experienced day taker offer, Wednesdays are my personal favorite. When we got our puppy last year, I took every Wednesday off, and then it broke up the week. You got 2 Fridays then because Tuesday becomes Friday,
no, but that's
and
not
regular
the question,
Friday
Jesse.
becomes Friday.
The question is, just for 3-day weekend holidays, do you want that Friday or that Monday off?
Well, when have you ever had a Friday off for a 3-day weekend? Like 4th of July this year, maybe?
Yeah, there
I
could
guess,
be 4th of July's or Christmas even. It happens sometimes.
I always like having the Monday off. I always like having Monday with Labor Day, with Memorial Day. It always feels like you're adding something extra on. Because even when you take days off in the summer, like if we got plans with some friends coming into town or whatever the case may be, like it's always that you're adding more stress at the start of the week. Look who's here at the Airbnb. It's Jason Wilde.
What?
Yeah. I wasn't going to the cabin. Jason and I are just hanging out all weekend long. He'll be joining us here in just a few minutes. I always feel like there's more stress when you have friends coming up for a weekend and you take Thursday or even Friday off, and then you're adding that on at the front, and then right away Monday you're back at it. Monday off always feels like you get a little extra added onto your weekend. I love that.
So he never mentioned it, but there's one reason and one reason only why Monday is the best day to have the day off. Because if you happen to have that Friday off, like for a holiday, if you ask Monday off, everyone's going to be like, oh, you're going to be hungover. Like you're adding on to the weekend. They kind of pile on because it's a Monday. Nobody bats an eye at somebody taking a Friday off. Jim told me yesterday he wasn't going to be here for this Friday. I didn't even faze me.
Yeah.
It's easier to ask a Friday off than it is to ask a Monday, especially following a 3-day weekend. The answer is Monday, and then you just take Friday off anyway.
We spend almost every Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend up north, and us and the neighbors have come up with a term for the Sunday of Memorial Day and Labor Day weekend, Second Saturday. And there's nothing better than Second Saturday when you get to go and have another great night before getting up on Monday to leave.
Probably very unique to you guys.
All-time
I don't think
Jesse
anyone's
Nelsonism.
ever thought of Second Saturday.
I've only ever heard it up here.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
All right, guys, I'll finish with a quick one because we got Jason Wilde coming up next. But he could be an expert on this question because Kyle Brust and Norman on Monday, they wanted to know which storyline will be the story of the offseason for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love's contract, Jeff Hafley's new defense, or Anders Carlson / the kicker competition. 35% said Jordan Love's contract, 58% said Hafley's new defense, 7% said Anders / the kickers competition. Matt Hamilton, what is it for you?
The answer's clearly the kicker competition. They score more points than anyone else on the team all season. They are the linchpin of a powerful franchise. If you can count on 90% or more of your kicks made and all of those extra points, you don't leave any points on the table. This is a kickers league. I'm all about the kickers, baby. Anders Carlson is going to crush Joseph for that job.
Jesse, what do you say?
Anders Carlson is going to be the kicker for the Green Bay Packers this year. And Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter aren't answering questions about Anders Carlson when they're going on national shows. It's all about Jordan Love and the contract extension and the franchise quarterback and what it's going to mean for the Green Bay Packers moving forward. That is what is the most prominent thing this offseason. If Jordan Love signs that contract extension, if and when and how much it's worth and what it sets the rest of the market for other quarterbacks around the league, there's long-term ramification from what happens for Jordan Love and his contract extension. Nobody's outside of us here in Wisconsin, nobody's talking about Anders Carlson in the kicking competition. That'll be interesting come training camp, but Anders Carlson's going to be the kicker. Jordan Love in the contract situation is the most interesting thing.
Not even a mention for Jeff Hafley's new defense between either of you. Wow.
No, I think that's also more of a training camp preseason. Like once we get to the preseason games, that's going to be the most interesting thing for me to watch.
We got to get a little closer to
the
like halfway there than where we're at right now.
We will find out how Jason Wilde answers that question. Can I name Jason Wilde the winner of pole dancing here?
Of course.
That's excellent. And you know where winners go. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Hours of operation Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 2 a.m., but it's not Monday through Thursday right now. No. It is the weekend when they are open nonstop till 2 a.m. on Monday. Open to everyone 21 plus. Full bar service hours available, including beverage servers roaming the floor, including throughout this weekend. 2024 jackpot totals. Have you guys heard? The largest win through April 28th was $102,000+. That is insane. And just last week, the largest win, $33,700. Absolutely bonkers going on at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. No better time than over a holiday weekend to go be a winner at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. We'll have more fun with Jason Wilde live in Green Bay. And this isn't his house. This is our house, the Tundra Trio. He's going to join us next on Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
This is Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Watch every show live and for free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208 1800.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Prairie Athletic Club is the ultimate destination for health, wellness, and crushing your goals. This is Sarah Tauscher. Say goodbye to post-workout aches and pains at the PAC's new Recovery Zone. With their assisted stretch and pneumatic boot sessions, you can get instant results, leaving you feeling refreshed and ready to tackle your next workout. Don't believe it works? Give it a try. Stop in, stretch your body, and relax your mind at the PAC. Visit prairieathletic.com to learn more. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Transform your home with Ridgetop Exteriors. With over 22 years of service excellence, we specialize in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutters. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Find your trusted, local, affordable partner here at Ridgetop Exteriors.
This is going to be a summer like no other at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We're giving away over $300,000 in cash and prizes in just 3 months in our Golden Summer Series. There's so much happening May through July. We're talking rollover jackpots, promo kiosk rewards, hot seat drawings, pick a prize, hot ticket drawings, and more. It all adds up to over $300,000 in cash and prizes, including grand prizes of $5,000, $10,000, and the chance for something even bigger. The Golden Summer Series means more ways to win at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have your dog, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Value and savings keep on coming with quick hot savings from Quick Trip. And right now, we're cooling off with $2.49 a gallon Nature's Touch milk. All 1 gallon, 2%, 1%, and skim Nature's Touch milk, just $2.49. Looking to make that perfect movie night milkshake? Or how about making those morning waffles extra fluffy? Our fresh, straight from our dairy Nature's Touch milk is on sale and ready to hit your fridge. With quick hot savings from Quick Trip, we're here to save you some moolah.
ESPN Madison is serving up something new this fall.
Badgers bust into the national semifinals.
Unprecedented success.
Kelly Sheffield has put himself among the elite in the sport.
Unrivaled enthusiasm.
Every single night, 7,000 plus, and they are in your face.
Looks like I love Wisconsin Bud.
Unrelenting determination.
You have the best players and the best coach. You like the chance.
A national semifinalist for the 6th time.
The new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. 100.5 ESPN.
What is a better buying experience? Well, you're minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. To me, a better buying experience is a personal experience. That's what Dan and his sales team have set up at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're going to have the experience that you're looking for. You're going to define what that better buying experience is for you, and they're going to get you in the vehicle that you need and that you want, whether it's new or new to you. So when you're looking for a better buying experience, go to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Steinhoffel's biggest Memorial Day sale ever is happening now. Your chance to save big on hundreds of closeouts and amazing bonus buys. Take an extra $100 off your furniture purchase of $19.99 or more. Spend $29.99 and get a free solo stove. Get all this and more for low monthly payments when you take advantage of Steinhoffel's 36-month 0% financing. The biggest Memorial Day sale ever, only at Steinhoffel's and steinhoffels.com.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze, and hear their sweet sound bouncing round the never-ending chorus.
Fish Friday on Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson in for Jim Rutledge. Camper Jim out for the Memorial Day weekend. He'll return on Tuesday along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton.
Hello.
Back in the Everlight Solar Studios in ESPN Madison with primetime Ryan Wollersheim running the show. Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks dives deep into Bucks in 6, a culture unknowingly created by former Bucks star Brandon Jennings. I was at his 55-point game. That was the best game in Bucks history for a long time while I was alive. Take a look inside the Brandon Jennings story, the origin of Bucks in 6, how it became the rallying cry, and what it truly means to Jennings and Bucks fans alike. Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher.
We're going to win a 6.
From the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, it is our pleasure to now be joined by the host of Wilde and Tausch.
Looking
Jason
fresh, by the way.
In-person appearance doesn't happen often, and look at this. We come to him, and he comes over.
God, I wish I had your hair, Hamilton.
So you got the J's on right now too?
Nike Air Max 270s, but
gotcha.
they're bright red. They go with the sweatshirt.
They definitely go with the
really
sweatshirt.
Bad. I had plans today, and as Tausch tells people all the time on the show, I don't really have many friends, which is not accurate, but nevertheless, I had made plans. And so I wasn't able to pinch hit, and poor Jesse what a selfless teammate he is to do the show. During his drive, he stops at the Tundra Trio, does the show, and now can continue on his trip up to the cabin. But you asked me to do the show. I said I couldn't, but I thought the least I can do for Matt Hamilton, not for Jesse, is to come in and do at least one segment.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. For the most part, Jesse's had some nuts takes, and I heard you kind of agreed with me that his take is a little bit nuts. He is touting this Brewers game like the biggest game in Wisconsin regular sports history, and I'm not buying that. I ain't buying it.
So I think it's important on a couple levels. One, I think it's really important to separate the fan and the size of the game to the fan versus the size of the game to the team. And baseball with 162 games, it is really hard to make too big of a deal out of any individual game. That said, even though Jesse continues to misquote me, there's no denying that going up against your former manager at AmFam Field, which is different than facing him earlier in the year at Wrigley Field, adds to everything that there is to this series and to this first game of the series. I don't deny that, but it isn't for the players. It isn't anything close to the level that it is for someone like Jesse Nelson, who is calling Craig Counsell Benedict Counsell and all the other things. For the fans, it is definitely not one of 162. For the players, it may be a little bit more than one out of 162, but it can't be. And I brought this up to Tausch, and I was a little bothered by it this morning, frankly, that he kind of just wriggled off the hook on it, because he has been among the people who were most critical of how he, as a player, and the rest of his teammates, and Mike McCarthy, handled those 2009 games against Favre at the Metrodome and at Lambeau Field. They did what Jesse is doing with this game against Counsell, and what the Brewers cannot do. Mike McCarthy and those guys were guilty of doing it with the Brett Favre games. And so it has to be treated as one of 16 for them and one of 162 by the Brewers. But we know that these are human beings, that you can't treat it entirely that way. But Jesse can go off the deep end. Jesse can be all Benedict Arnold all the time, and he's a fan, so he's perfectly within his rights to do that.
Atmosphere is going to be amazing. You're going to have fans of both teams there. It's Memorial Day, which is always a big day for baseball anyway. The two teams, they're the only good teams in the division this year. Like, there's just a bunch extra that's added
Jesse,
to
don't
it
you
this
think
year.
the atmosphere would be even better if they were successfully keeping the Cubs fans out, though? And so the booing would be universal, the negative vibes toward your Benedict manager would be better?
You know,
because it waters down the level of vitriol.
This goes against everything that I believe, because I would love nothing more than for it to be 42,000 Brewers fans only on Monday. But no, I think the atmosphere is actually enhanced for this particular revenge-type game by being more of an NCAA tournament-style full house. Really more of like a Big Ten tournament-type house where it's packed. It's full to the brim. It's a sellout crowd, but it's 50-50, 60-40, 65-30, whatever the ratio ends up being. I actually think it is enhanced a little bit by Cubs fans being there, trying to be equally as opposite to what the Brewers fans will be getting after Council and the Cubs in general, because it's always a rivalry anyway.
Yeah,
wait till Matt Hamilton quits Team Schuster. Imagine what that's going to be.
Yeah, the much anticipated game. That is, it's kind of like doubling down on a bet when you're letting the other team in, because you're letting them in just so you can be thrilled when you win that home game, right? Like,
right.
So, like, it's definitely, if you are counting on the Brewers to win this one, you definitely want that crowd to be like 60-40 Brewer fans, Cub fans, because then you get to see more upset faces on the way out of the stadium.
It's always a treat.
It is definitely a treat. Like, I love like Packer divisional games and seeing a fair bit of, maybe a Viking fans or Bear fans, because I'm typically the one smiling at the end of the game, and that is definitely a treat. So I understand where your head's at there, Jesse.
Jason Wilde joining us at the Tundra Trio in Green Bay, Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson and Jim Rutledge, along with the Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton. Jason, I do want to ask you about eating in the car. Before I do that, because I had an issue with a burrito
This is a
on the way.
weird setup here. Like, you have to turn around to talk to
I
me.
do. I have to, like,
Am
go
I
this way
sitting
to
in
the
the wrong
hey.
spot? Is this where I'm supposed
No,
to
this
be?
is good.
Jesse,
this is
just
good.
I feel like
maintain
I'm on a
eye
bus.
contact through the camera. You don't need to turn around to look at Jason.
All right, I will look here to see Jason. I'm going to try, and this is actually super awkward, so I'm going to do the best Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jesse.
This is bizarre. We're in Green Bay. Lambeau Field's here. Hudson Center's there right behind us as you see us on the video stream. What's been the biggest takeaway from OTAs this week? Matt and I were debating this earlier. There's been a lot of conversation between Christian Watson, between Jordan Love's contract,
Anders Carlson.
defense. Anders Carlson came up moments ago. What's the biggest takeaway that you've had this week?
Yeah, I have not gotten to my Anders Carlson story. He did talk for a long time at his locker, and I do need to write that. Look, I think there's two things. And, yes, the hamstrings of one Christian Watson have definitely been a topic, and rightfully so. But to me, the two biggest things are Jordan Love related and this offense related. I think, and it's not even Jordan Love's contract. I know we spent time talking about it during the week. I know lots of people, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, everybody else have been talking about it. To me, that's not the biggest thing. To me, the biggest thing is, how is Jordan Love going about replicating what he did during the second half of last season? And it's going to be tough. I asked him a question. Jesse, I don't know did we ever get to playing that on our show? I think we did.
I don't remember, actually.
About how
defenses.
Well, it'd be good to play again next week.
Yeah.
If we did. How defenses are going to have a better idea of what he does well and what they need to, what they can exploit and what they need to figure out how to defend. And all these guys are a year older in the offense, so there's some push and pull there. But I think number one is how different they could be offensively because of where Love is and where the rest of these guys are. Secondly, I do think it's how good is Jordan Love going to be. So those go hand in hand, right? If Jordan Love makes strides, The offense, they don't have guys just learning how to line up in the system now. They've got guys who have at least one and many of them 2 years of experience in the offense. And then, so that's part of it. And then Jordan Love, how is he going to elevate his game? Is he going to change with a contract? All those other things. That's what we spent the most time talking about, although the fact that their starting right tackle and one of their 2 top tight ends both tore pectoral muscles while weightlifting was an unexpected storyline that I did not have on my to-do list when I headed over to Lambeau Field on Tuesday.
So, like, were those the biggest things that stood out to you when you got to, like, talk to people, though?
So, I think the biggest thing that I'm interested in, but it is hard to have a gauge for, is what is this defense really going to look like? And if you heard Matt LaFleur talking after practice, he basically said, look, we're running everything in our 11-11 at less than full speed because the defense is learning how to play the defense and where to line up and all that other stuff. So, I guess I went into it thinking we're going to have a better idea of what this defense really looks like, and I don't have that much better of an idea. And I asked Matt LaFleur when he thinks they'll be up to full speed. And he said it's just going to happen naturally. So I don't know if that's start of training camp, midway through training camp, when they get to Brazil. I don't know. But to me, that when I go into an off season, the thing I'm most interested in is what's different, right? And so with this group, the experience level on offense is different. Jordan Love's contract situation could be different at some point. The defense is very, very, very different. And they're hoping that Christian Watson's hamstrings are different. So those are all different things.
Well, they are. That's the problem.
Yeah, nicely done. Ace. I didn't think we'd get an asymmetry joke out of you, but here we are.
Jason, before we go, we started the show today talking about the soap. I was nervous driving up here. I knew I was going to have to eat in the car on the way up. I wore this white shirt today, and I'm already a pretty messy eater when it comes to eating in the car.
I've heard that about you.
What is the safest thing to eat? If you're looking for a meal, like fast food or whatever, what's the safest thing like that you can go to in the car that you don't have to worry about crumbs or gooey cheese or anything getting all over you?
See, this is going to be an off-the-wall choice, but I feel like a burrito, as long as you haven't overstuffed it with items, because it's encased in its own wrapping, right? Now, if you say you choose carnitas or barbacoa and it leaks out the bottom, then you got real problems. But if you go with like the chicken or the steak, it should stay inside the burrito. I like my chances with a burrito. In fact, maybe I'll get one on my drive home, so I haven't had dinner yet.
There we go. Hey, thanks for stopping by. This was fun.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to surprise you guys. Maddie, I'm sorry I couldn't do a whole 2 hours with you, buddy, but I hope this suffices. You were in great hands with Jesse.
Yeah. Matt, I'm sorry I did do a full 2 hours with you.
Hey,
thanks to Jason. Matt, they're playing us off the stage. We got to go now. Thanks
fair.
to Matt. Thanks to Wooly. Thanks to Jason. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Rutledge and Hamilton, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life,